All right, so we come down onto our backs and we want to have our head and our shoulders propped, but around the bottom of your rib cage, that's dropping down into the ground. So the idea is that the bottom of your rib cage at the front, where your floating ribs are, they are pretty much aligned with the top of your pelvis, where the hip bone is here. So if you put a thumb where your rib cage is, those floating ribs, and your pointing finger on your hip bones, that wants to be pretty much in alignment. So we don't want to be flared so that we can put our fingers under our ribs. We don't want to be like that with a big gap. We want the back of the rib cage to be pretty much on the ground. And because so many of us, as we age, we get a bit of kyphosis, that rounding of the shoulders and the head poked forward, it's better for this exercise to have our head and shoulders slightly propped so that we are in a straight line here and we can get that good contact with the back of the rib cage that I try to get us to do when we're doing the getting toward against the wall. So here we are, rib cage, top of the pelvis, pretty much in alignment. All right, so back of the pelvis is in the ground, pressing into the ground, but we're not pushing our tummy button into the ground. So we're not trying to flatten out the natural lumbar curve. If there's a tiny, tiny, tiny minuscule gap underneath your lower back, that's good. Keep that there. That means your pelvis is in neutral. If we press the lower back, the lumbar spine into the ground, we're actually putting our pelvis into that posterior tilt. So we don't want that. Little bit of a gap, neutral spine here. All right, so pelvic floor muscles. We're starting externally with the pubic bone at the front, the tailbone at the back, and the sitting bones on each side. So a diamond shape of those pelvic floor muscles. We're going to use, our chin's tucked in here, so we've got the natural constriction on the back of the throat, the goiter. Blowing out as if you're blowing out through a straw. As you blow out, stop yourself weeing. That's the action. So through the urethra, we're closing the hose. And at the same time, stop yourself passing wind. So it's a closing of the anal sphincter. And then just let those muscles go. So do that a couple of times where you feel a little bit of, oh, stop yourself weeing, stop yourself passing wind, and then release. Just the external muscles. If you visualize that diamond shape, the top, north, and the bottom, south, they're sort of drawing towards each other slightly. That's it. Now, so we start there, that's one. And then keep that contraction, don't release it. Breathe out again, and see if you can suck upwards. It's like the vagina has a straw through it, and you're kind of sucking up. Think of a thick smoothie, sucking up through the vagina towards your cervix. So that's two. Sucking upwards, keep blowing out through the straw. Drawing upwards towards your tummy button. And then once we get the contraction up here, we're looking to see if we can imagine we have a corset on and the corsetary muscles are drawing in towards the tummy button. So we're starting to activate the oblique muscles here and deep into those transverse abdominal muscles. And then let's just let it all go. So that was 1, 2, and 3. 1, external sphincter muscles, stopping yourself weeing, stopping yourself passing wind. 2, we zip upwards. And you just imagine tight, high-waisted jeans and you're having to zip up, 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 up. 3, see if you can cinch in your waist slightly. And then unzip those jeans and let it all go.